mind blown. Memento, released in 2000 and is directed by Christopher Nolan, who's also directed such films like Following, Insomnia, Interstellar, Oppenheimer, and my favorite movies of all time, the Dark Knight trilogy. And this film is starring Guy Pearce, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Joe Pantoliano. And the reason why we're talking about Memento today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my longtime contributors and supporters of this channel, Dr. Cam. Thank you very much for the recommendation. You're always here to support me all throughout the year for several years now. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. And of course, whenever I get a recommendation for a Christopher Nolan film that puts a smile on my face, he is one of, if not my favorite directors of all time. And this is the movie that really put him on the map in terms of, hey, this guy is freaking damn good at what he does and has a unique style and a unique voice. We need to hire him for all of these movies. Whatever he wants to do, let's do that. Because up until this movie's release, the only thing that we've gotten in terms of like a full-length feature film from Christopher Nolan was Following, which is a pretty solid psychological thriller. Well, I guess not psychological, but it is like it has a fun little twist at the end, I guess. It's an exceptional movie for someone starting out their feature-length Hollywood directorial debut career thing. But then we go to Memento, where the story, even though it's progressing forward, is actually chronologically happening in reverse and going backwards, which is just so mind-boggling that this movie works so goddamn well. So thank you very much, Dr. Camp, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Leonard Shelby suffers from short-term memory loss, and the last thing he remembers is his wife being brutally murdered in the bathroom while he was knocked out cold, causing his injury. So ever since then, Leonard has vowed vengeance for his wife to hunt down his wife's killer and kill him. However, along the way, we are introduced to several characters who seem to fully be aware of Leonard's condition and leaves the audience to think that some hidden agendas are being implemented along the way. Yeah, so if the telling the story in reverse is not enough for the audience to handle, we also have the introduction of all these characters that were like, wait, are you a good person? Are you in on this? Or are you like trying to help? Are you trying to benefit your own? Like, I don't know who these people are. And it allows the audience to feel and empathize with Leonard, because Leonard is basically doing the same thing. He only has what, like a 10-30 minute memory before everything relapses, really whenever he goes to sleep and whenever he wakes up. That's like one of the main catalysts for have his memory reset is the next day. But this film just keeps asking a lot of the audience, and it's like, hey, this is not something that you are going to be checking out and doing other things and watching this movie. No, if you're going to watch Memento, you need to be fully invested, you need to plant your seat. And this was 2000, so phones weren't really a problem back then. But if you're going to watch it nowadays, you put the phone down, you put all the other devices down, conversations stop, and you focus on what's going on so that you can fully understand the story here. And if you haven't seen this movie before, I don't want to scare you off from not watching this at all. I'm not saying that this is a hard story to follow. It's just a lot of story to follow. And if you're not paying attention, if you blink, if you're doing something else, you're going to miss key details along the way. Which kind of happens to Leonard in this movie, where he's told things and then is not able to write it down, forgets, and then carries along his life and is told lies or is persuaded to do one thing when before he lost his memory the last time was going to do something else, and it's frustrating to watch, but it just leads to an excellent, innovative story. Has there been a movie like this since? I don't think so, at least from the storytelling aspect. I want to say there are some TV show episodes where they, because it's an episode, have a little bit more leeway and a little bit more freedom to try something like this, and if it doesn't go well, it's on TV, we're already guaranteed money, and we have next week's episode to make up for this one if it's not that great. But to put all of your budget and all of your funds into a movie like this, back this movie as a movie studio, back this movie for being so innovative, that's a risk. Even though this is a very small budget film, it was made anywhere between $5 to $9 million, definitely made a profit. It wasn't some grand blockbuster, but because the budget was so low, and because they went with someone like a Guy Pearce, who at the time was not a big blockbuster star. I know initially they were looking for like a Brad Pitt type actor, but then when he passed on it, they were like, hey, let's go not A-list Hollywood star. Let's find someone who may have those qualities, but is certainly not of the A-list level. Which I hate saying that about Guy Pearce. I think he is an excellent actor. He was recently nominated for Best Supporting Actor for The Brutalist this year, and he's always one of those actors that I feel should be A-list, but just can't get up in those levels. At best, he's a B-list actor, and that's at best. I think he's kind of more C-D, which if you're asking me to explain the categories of different tiers of actors, I will not be able to. I'm just going along with the fads of what people say, so lay off me, brah. I feel like Memento is one of those films that if you are studying writing or playwriting, or just if you want to be a storyteller at all, this needs to be part of the curriculum of whatever class that you're taking. I think every writer needs to see this film because it's so innovative, but you can only pull this off if you master just the standard writing rules and techniques, which Christopher Nolan absolutely does. Him and his brother, they definitely know how to tell story, and because they know how to tell story so well, they are able to bend the rules and to do certain things that may break screenwriting rules in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But that's what any master craftsman in the art is able to do. Once you harness and you master the basics, then you can start bending and breaking the rules because you know what you're doing and you've proven it. Which is awesome to say about Christopher Nolan. At this stage, this is his second feature-length film, and he's already proven, hey, I've mastered this whole making a movie thing and writing a movie thing, so just pay attention and let me cook and let me do my own thing, please. And then, of course, we get the greatest Batman movies ever made because he made these movies, so, you know. Good thing Christopher Nolan is here. He's a great storyteller. He was a bit of a prick for his release of his movie Tenet, but, you know, that aside, he's a great dude. Memento is one of those once-in-a-lifetime movies that come along and just blows your mind, and it's a little upsetting, I think, how much people have forgotten about this movie. I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but when you bring it up, if they have seen it, if you bring up the title, they go, oh yeah, oh my god, that movie is freaking amazing. I think it definitely deserved way more accolades than what it got, and it did receive a lot of recognition. It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars. I mean, personally, I think this film definitely should have won, but, you know, Christopher Nolan is new to this whole Hollywood thing, so of course it wasn't go to him. How political the Oscars are, right? But Memento is a once-in-a-lifetime film that is so innovative, and it kind of just puts a smile on your face. If you're into movies and you watch this thing, it just puts a smile on your face to see how well this thing turned out when it could have gone so wrong very quickly. I'm going to give Memento 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
Good. So guys, if you've seen Memento, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.